Yeah.
I apparently have an account there because I see my old profile photo, but maybe I missed something. I
Yeah.
don't
Okay,
remember.
cool. Olga, so I pass it to you.
Yes, so if you all can please open the Miro board right now. Let me quickly share my screen. I think that will be also the easiest. Okay, there we go. You can see it now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, oops. So here on the top right, you can see everyone who is involved today, who is right now in the Miro board. And if, for example, you want to know where currently I am or Stephanie is, then you just click on my icon and you will automatically be guided to the board where this person is at the moment. So maybe Steffi, you can just quickly go to one board and then I can, so yeah. So you see now it says here, following Stephanie, but I could also follow, for example, Elizabeth, who is obviously at the same screen at the moment and not really moving around much. Okay, so this is the first thing. The second thing that is also quite important is how to zoom in and out. I'm not sure if you have actually a touchpad on your computer. If you do, you can do that with your fingers. If not, you can always check here on the right, on the bottom right, and you can always zoom in and zoom out. And if I zoom out, you can see this is the whole board that we are working in at the moment. Another two very important tools you can find on your left side, which are just here. And here you can see an arrow or a hand. So if I click, it will always switch between arrow and hand, but it can also switch if you just press space. So if I press space, it automatically becomes the hand. Why is that important? Because with the hand, I can move around the entire screen. There you go. Let me zoom in a little bit. So I'm changing it again. And with the arrow, I can actually choose the elements and I could move around the elements. But please be aware, if we will be working in one board together, it would be great that you not actually move around any of the boards. Sometimes it happens by accident because we happen not to switch between the arrow and the hand. So all the other necessary tools that we will be using are as well on the left side, but we will actually try and guide you through whenever we need one more tool. Yep. So I think this is the basics, and everything else you'll find out on the go, or we will just show you which ones of those to use. So yeah, just make sure to always be at the board where we are currently at, and oops, there we go. And this is what we're looking at the moment, which is our agenda.
Cool, perfect. Thank you, Olga. So now we did the technical check, and we can go through the through the agenda now briefly. So we are now 9:30 at intro and agenda. We did that, and then we will have a brief look at the farmer's persona, meaning that we have a look at the pains and gains of the persona. And after that, we quickly dive into the opportunity fields again, just to refresh it a bit and have it in mind when we go further and then discuss the opportunity fields. So we will see which opportunities do you see in the different fields, and what is your opinion, like pros and cons. So really dive a bit deeper in the opportunity fields, and then afterwards at 10:30 we will decide for 2 opportunity fields that we want to work with, and for those 2 opportunity fields we will then develop how might we questions. These are it is a format that helps you to brainstorm a bit more, so it's really like just an inspiring format to phrase the challenge you want to work on. So that's just the format we are using. And this will then, after a short break, guide us into our brainstorming. And there we will do the brainstorming for the 2 opportunity fields together. So first opportunity field and then the second. And afterwards, we will review those 2 brainstorming sessions and see if something is missing or not. And then go to lunch for 45 minutes. Have then a quick check-in. Did we miss something? How do you feel? And afterwards, we will then deepen our ideas. That means that we will work with a format that helps you to really make it a bit more concrete your idea and not just have like one phrase and then everyone is imagining something different. So really be a bit more precise there and deepen that idea. And this we will do in 2 teams. So 3 and 3 people will do it, and afterwards we will present what we did each other, and then also iterate it together and see if the other team has missed something, and we'll then fill that as well in there. Yeah, after that, we will go even more deeper and really think about the features. We will do that together in the whole team. So first for the first idea and then the second one, and really see just like a collection of features. So we will not be able to be like really precise today in this field. We will just have a collection of features, and afterwards in the click dummy, we will design, it will all come together, yeah, like the logic and how you would design it. Yeah. After that, we have a quick look at the narrative, which means that we have a look at, yeah, from the narrative, we can design the storyline that we want to use in our click dummy. So this is really important, that we have a look at why do you want to do this? What's like the purpose of the idea? How do you want to do it? And what exactly do you want to do? So this makes the 2 ideas even more precise. And we have like a foundation for the storyline we want to work with in the testing phase. We will present this again each other so that we are aligned, and then review all like the 2 ideas together, have a look again at the deepening of the idea, the features and the narrative, and then decide for one idea that we want to work with in the testing phase. But I know that's really hard to really decide on one idea in this short time. So we said we will get like a tendency from you today, and we will review this next week in our weekly and see if you still feel fine with it or if you want to change anything. So this would be it for today. Any questions? Anything missing? Okay. Silence is good in this sense. So yeah, then I will continue with the pains and gains of the farmer. And where is my screen? I want to share my screen. 1 second. There it is. Okay. This is now in the front, but not as a, I guess not as a presentation, right? Not presentation mode?
Now it is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we know where we are all at Farmarket Co-creation. So yeah, I quickly want to dive into the motivations of farmers for the digital marketing, as they are like our target group, which is in every solution involved. So like the other target group, like on the consumer side, this could switch, and they are like different target groups that are possible, but the farmer is always involved. So this is why we look at the farmers' motivations to use digital tools for marketing again a bit more deeply. So one motivation for farmers to use online marketing is when they are remote. So when there is no sales market around, then online marketing is a really huge opportunity for them. And yeah, mostly farmers use direct marketing digitally when they already use it analog. So this means that they already know how to communicate with the customer, and then they turn it from analog to digital. But it's not so likely that farmers do it that never have done direct marketing in any way. So this is one fact. Yeah. And then if there is like a crisis in the traditional business model, farmers often tend to switch to things allows them to be more independent, or not more independent, to stay independent in a crisis and not have to like change their business model totally. Then yeah, direct marketing also provides a really appreciated customer relationship, as this is like in a direct contact, and it offers a lot of space to really tell the individual story, and also to set your own price so that you are not controlled by anything else. So you can decide it. So that's also playing on the independency. Whoop. Sorry. This is the next slide. Yes. Yeah, and then yeah, then it's also one thing we found out is that direct marketing is just worthwhile when you have a product that is a bit processed. So when you're just selling your potatoes, it's often not as profitable to use digital direct marketing as when you process them yourself. So you have one raw material and you have several products you get out of it, and then you sell this rather than just selling the raw product digitally, which also leads to the other point that a wide range of sales channels is often just leading to a really resilient business model, and also gives you the freedom in pricing. Then another point is that often we talked to several farmers that did their own online marketing, so they really like set up their own online shop and have their blog, and they said that often motivation for farmers is to use an external digital platform, that they don't really want to spend so much time with setting it up and really like going into this digital world, or even like to pay for something like card payment on the online shop. So this is a big motivation really to use something external there. And then we go into the obstacles for online marketing, which is really that farmers mainly focus on their production and not so much on how to sell it and how to market it. So they really just how to produce it. This is already a big field of work, and really go further into what happens with a product after they produced it is often not so much in their view or like in their interest. And this also comes to the point, or no, this is also motivated from the fact that it's really hard to to have the products that you have online always like connected what's actually happening, what's the actual status quo on the farm. So the digital world is not always, it's hardly analog is happening. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Steffi, your connection is bad at times. Sometimes you disappear. So the last point was a little bit unclear.
Maybe repeat the last sentence. Yeah.
The last sentence was that it's hard to really connect the digital products you have to the actual status quo you have on the farm. So it's really hard to keep it like alive. You always have to update it. So that's really like a bummer for farmers to use online
so like
marketing.
The stock taking aspect, right?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, then the next point is that really, as I said before, farmers focus on the production, and they really have to have a motivation to think about the further processing and to really care about the further processing of their raw materials, to really take on the workload that's coming up with making it digital and thinking about it, where the products are going. Then another point is that often delivery services like when you take Hermes or like services that are already existing, they often don't pick up the fresh goods when it's appropriate for the farmer. So for example, they say they want to pick it up in the morning, and this is really not suitable for the harvest. So they haven't harvested all the products, and this is really something that is not working with the everyday life of the farmer. But they said also DHL is doing it differently. So they are already adapting to the everyday life or to the structure of the farmers. Yeah, further obstacles for online marketing is that yeah, every farmer has their own management on the farm. So that means there's no farms are alike. Everyone is like connected to the land, and they then really designed their own processes and structures how they manage their farm. And so it's pretty hard to for them to commit to a digital tool which would also interfere with their management. So it would also like kind of have that it would foster, or not foster, it would pursue a transformation on his system which he designed. So this is also something which is like in the way to use digital tools. And then another point is that not all the products of farmers are suitable for direct marketing, or also for digital marketing. As I already mentioned, the potato, which is really cheap and really heavy. So this is nothing that you want to ship somewhere or sell digitally because it's not really profitable. So we heard that often something like special salads or flowers are things that are really profitable for a farmer to ship it and to make it digitally available. And another thing there is that when you see a salad and flowers, it's not such a huge volume or amount that's being shipped. So it's not really environmentally friendly when you ship all the little things to everyone that wants them. So this is another aspect that it's not collectively done. So then it takes a lot of transport and there through CO2. So this is another point which we should look at. And then there's like a difference in how farmers work. So farmers often specialize because this is really a good business model for them, that they, for example, really specialize on, again, potatoes or corn or whatever. So it's not that often that you have a high diversity at one farmer. So you have a specialized farmer, but the customer really wants a large variety of products. So this is like kind of a bit against each other, like the needs of the farmer and the customer. So this is also something that needs to be tackled. And often when already farmers are doing direct marketing, then they already have their base for selling their products. And they are not really so much in need to find new sales market digitally. They often have set up their system. So sometimes like crisis, maybe Corona, really bring a chance to really change the system. So this could be a huge chance now to really go into this. I thought it's already the end, sorry. There were so many findings on it. Here in red you have like a quote from Sophia. She was from the Bavarian Ministry of Agriculture, and she said as well that it's that digitally, when you do your direct marketing digitally, you really need a lot more information than when you do it analog, because you are not in personal contact. And so you really have to defend, in a way, your product more and make it more transparent, how you produced it, and where it's coming from. So this is also a huge thing, that we need a lot more information digitally. And then another...
Can I interrupt?
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Can you explain that a bit? Because like the way I understand it is actually when it's being explained, described kind of verbally, it's much more clearer rather than when it's described in a written form. Is that correct?
Not also that it's really also that it's just when you are in person there, you can just answer the questions the customer has, and it's just more the trust base is easy to create, and it's really just that you are in direct contact. Is that explaining it?
Yeah. I'm very curious. I was very curious. Yeah.
I think, can I give the example of Hofhuhn again? He was a farmer who is also doing a blog at the same time, and he's answering a lot of questions on his blog. He's describing his processes a lot. And I think we're talking about this kind of transparency on the farm level that really helps for the customer to gain trust in a product that's online.
And if I may also add something to it now that we all do it,
Yeah, okay.
I think part of the obstacle is also just the amount of data that you have to put into the system for the farmer. So it's also like from the administrative point of view, there is a lot of data to put in to actually give all the necessary explanations to all the products, which in many cases is an obstacle.
In terms of certifications or labels of stuff or stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it's also just the amount that it's really that you have to upload and explain, and also, like as I mentioned before, that you always have to keep it up to date. So yeah, this is also a thing that is really time consuming, but it's possible, but it's just time consuming, and you have to see that it's a whole new field of work for the farmer that he has to do and that he has to be committed to. So maybe just let me finish the last two things, and then we can see if something is still unclear. So another thing is, when you have digital marketing, it's really hard to plan when something is coming in. So people can just order at 12 in the night or whenever. There's no structure in there. When you keep it open like this and don't have like a box or whatever that you give to the customers, it's really open when it's inquired that you have to deliver something. And then here we have like the last point that we already discussed. It's a lot of data that has to be uploaded and has to be put online, which is also a lot of work for the farmer. Okay, that was a lot of information, a lot of talking from my side. Are there things unclear, or do you want to add something?
No, seems like a very complex persona, I would say.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, then should we have a look at the opportunity fields? Are you ready for that? Okay, so I stop sharing my screen and Eli can share hers.
Yes. All right. Opa. Perfect. So let's talk about the opportunity fields. Where do we want to go? As we already presented to you the last time, we identified 5 opportunity fields in which we could go to, from which today we will choose 2 to continue working. The first one is kind of the initial one, to create a solution that goes directly to the customer. So we could see that, of course, this is a good idea because customers are the biggest target group. And this gives the opportunity, since there's nobody in between, to give a bigger share of the price to the producer. And we can see also that, or we could see during Corona, that there's a big longing now of the customers to reconnect to the farmer. And I think the last time, in our last session, for this field, we already spoke about the opportunity of possibly going into a niche of a certain customer. So for example, targeting old people as a niche could be one example. Then a second opportunity field would be to connect not to the private customer, but to connect to gastronomy and catering. This is a good idea because, of course, this is a regular consumer for the farmer that and the kind of problem that we're tackling now is that if a gastronome or a restaurant wants to buy from local producers, he has to handle many different farmers and many different ordering channels. So an opportunity field would be to find a solution how to concentrate these different channels easily for a gastronome and for a restaurant. And on the other hand, for the farmer, it's a good opportunity because he has a competent processor on the other hand that orders regularly and in bigger quantities than a private consumer. So it's less channels, more regular, more quantity. And we can see that in Berlin, it's a big trend now for restaurants to use regional produce also as a form of identity for the region, for example. So I added a quote of one of a very trendy restaurant in Berlin who says that, we spoke to Billy Wagner, and he says that they actually use regionality as a tool for communication. in order to convey the regional identity of Berlin and Brandenburg. In different interviews, we also saw that actually retail could be an opportunity field, because more and more what we say LEH, so the supermarkets and the retails in Germany are of course entering the market to also start to sell regional produce, to market regional produce. And we could see that this for certain farmers is a very attractive way of selling their produce, because they can just market to or sell their produce to in bulk to a big buyer, and have to spend less time on handling different customers. And we can see this trend also, for example, in organic supermarkets, who are trying to, as much as they can, use regional produce in their range. So here we can see a quote from Benedikt Bösel, a farmer in Brandenburg we spoke to, who says that it's a preferred marketing channel because they can sell all of their produce at the same time, and they don't waste anything, because they already know that they can sell everything to somebody who will then market for them, and they don't have to find every single customer until all of their produce is gone. Then a fourth opportunity field would be the creation of regional supply chains and of regional networks connecting different stakeholders in the value chain. So we could see that this is a movement going on in Germany in different parts, in the so-called eco-model regions, where there's a big networking going on, that different farmers and also processors and also restaurants are connecting in order to develop a regional strategy also for feeding themselves, let's say. And an opportunity in this is that the reusal of waste streams and of different nutrients flow, maybe parts of a production, can also be reused in different points of the value creation. And this can be an added value, actually, if they are connected. And also, of course, we talked about the processing of produce, that we can create an additional added value once we process a raw material into a processed one, that will then be, how do you say, it will be more available throughout the whole year, because it can actually last longer.
Long shelf life.
Thank you. The long shelf life, prolong their shelf life, and create a higher value. But we could see that a challenge in this is, of course, that actually the structures are not always available in the different regions, as we can see, for example, in Brandenburg. And then a final opportunity field would be actually creating a tool that would coordinate the different tools that already exist. Because in many of the interviews, we were facing people that were saying, wow, but you want to create another solution. Actually, there's already so many solutions on the market, but we often don't even know what there is, and especially the farmer doesn't know what there is and what is best suited to his individual farm circumstances. So one opportunity would be to create actually an application that matches the different existing tools and platforms to the farmers, and especially to connect the different specific customer segments to a specific farmer that would probably not even know about the existence or where to find this customer segment. And so here we added a quote from a farmer from Saxony-Anhalt who says, direct marketing doesn't make sense for every structure. For example, as a grain farmer, he says that it doesn't make sense to market directly. So this just to show you, or to strengthen the point that every farmer is different and every farmer needs his own personal solution for direct marketing. Yes. So much to the opportunity fields. Are there any questions on this?
regarding the last one, the right tool for each farmer, this is like potentially like a platform that will unite different tools.
What? Sorry, can you say again?
Yeah, your first part, you were too far away, so I think we missed half of it.
The right tool for each partner. This means that it should be like a platform that will unite different kinds of tools.
So you mean the opportunity fields, finding the right tool for the farmer, what it could be?
Yeah.
There is the ideas we developed today. So it could be, for example, what you said, that you kind of like, I don't know, have like a Tinder that you enter what you want to have, and then you get the platforms or the tools that could be the right ones. But this is really on us today to develop. So there are no specific ideas in there. I mean, they are leading somewhere, but it's just the field of opportunities. Yeah. It could also you being going around in Germany and telling every farmer which tool to use. So it could also be an idea, maybe not so profitable, but yeah. Okay, any other questions? Cool. I mean, the next thing is as well that we dive a bit deeper into those opportunity fields. So when you have a look on the Me robot, there is the green field on the right to the agenda. Or you could just click on my icon. All there. Okay, good. So the next step we want to do is that we discuss those opportunity fields. So we really, we discuss it and we write down what, for example, the pros and cons are for those opportunity fields, or what your thoughts are, if you think it's like a good opportunity field, or if not, why, and so that we all get this now together. So maybe we just start with the opportunity field B2C, B2 business, farmer to customer, farmer to consumer. And we said there, or Edli said as well, that it could be like a niche there. But yeah, what are your thoughts to this opportunity field?
If I may say something, my first thought also...
Sorry, one question. Eli, you are writing?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Go ahead.
Sorry. So I also, particularly after being part of the jury in the Feeding the City program and realizing how many projects actually applied that were tackling this problem, I think that the B2C segment is the segment that is most tackled at the moment for digital solutions. So I think this is like the widest market. So if we want to enter this, we should just be very aware, and I think this was also one of the findings from the market research, that there is a lot of other projects that are happening there, and I think this is the most advanced opportunity field that exists. However, what I do see, and it was actually that just came to my mind while listening to Elizabeth introducing again the opportunity fields, is that actually this aspect of a person, like the opportunity for the farmer to being able to really customize his platform for him. I think that is an opportunity field within the opportunity field. So like, you know, that the farmer can choose himself if he wants to sell boxes, if he wants to, you know, tackle a particular niche and so on. So I think that could be actually an interesting aspect to look at. So allow for the farmer to really customize quite a lot of features for their farm, to adapt it to their processes.
So maybe one question there. So you mean not that the whole platform, for example, is a platform to bring farmers fresh produce to elderly people. It's more that the farmer can choose which group he could tackle. That would be like an idea in the opportunity field.
Yeah, so which group he could tackle. So for example, he could totally set up something which would tackle, for example, elderly people. But like once he set up his platform, and that's already ideation, but I think to make it a bit more tangible, once he starts setting up the platform, he can actually choose if he rather wants to sell pre-packed boxes, and he can set up like the themes of the boxes. You can order a fruit box or a veggie box and so on. Or he can also just have like a shop where you can buy individual products. So let it be a potato farmer, but he maybe has 25 varieties of potatoes, you know, so like, so that we would actually give them the opportunity to really have a customized solution for the farmer himself, instead of just, you know, like, okay, so now you can only sell boxes and that's all you can set up in the platform. So have like, you know, different modules for the farmer to bring together.
So like, okay, I think we got this. Any other thoughts to this one?
I think that this is the widest
I mean, or Igor?
Yeah, do you hear me?
And that's, yeah, we hear you.
But now I think it's lost.
No, I hear him. Or I don't know.
I
now he's not
I can hear you, but okay, now it's
we can hear you, yeah.
okay. So when you do the presentation, I marked two things. It's marketing and delivery, and this is the only solution that needs to cover both of the parts, delivery and marketing. So when we talk business to customers, we need to develop our own marketing towards the customers. So that is, I think, the hardest work to be done. And if we talk about some niche market, it's feasible. If we talk about huge market, it takes a lot of time. And here, if we have some partners like I don't know, regional organization, farmers organization, some kind of narrowing and building common brand, then it's okay. In other cases, it's too hard to do the whole process.
Yeah,
absolutely.
too broad. Yeah. Okay.
And I think actually adding to this aspect of logistics, particularly in this segment of B2C, this is where this biggest issue of having small quantities being shipped around is actually very present. So, which is, quite of a disadvantage, I think, as well.
And we could see
okay. Who wants?
Sorry, is there a line?
No, Elizabeth, go ahead.
The point that you made, Stephanie, that the farmer wants the smallest variety and the customer wants the biggest variety is exactly the key problem for this field, I think. And we could see in the different solutions that often the B2C solutions are connected with a logistics center where packages are packed, for example. And the alternative, yes, would maybe be a very specific product. But because even with the elderly, I think it would need a step in between. No, it would need some kind of processing. It would need some kind of arrangement of different products. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, I think we should maybe go to the next one so that we really have time to at least talk a bit about each opportunity field. Okay, farm to table in gastronomy and catering. What are your thoughts for this opportunity field?
We are actually, I'm working with a company that is looking into that in Macedonia. So they have something like half processed vegetables in terms of washed and cut salads, and they are looking into entering into this market of Horeca, we call hotel, restaurants, and catering, and it is a very good potential for that to be like a hub for them. So I have some insights in that market. So it is starting here in Macedonia to be recognized. So basically, the opportunity is to be like a virtual hub of connecting farmers and Horeca. And with this regionality, I think even boost the idea even more.
Yeah.
Delivery is the only hard point here, because you need to have a very good I don't know, connecting model. Who it should be the caterers who will taking the food, or the farmers who are delivering. So I think this is the only downside here.
Yeah, but at the on the other hand, it's quite positive that it is a bigger amount of food that you deliver. So it's not like for one person; it's at least for like, I don't know, 100 up to 1,000 dishes per day. So that's like a better security for the farmer as well.
What we look into that the restaurants have interest in supply, securing the supply through the whole year. So basically, it can be also a planning tool for a farmer, how to plan the production towards the restaurants. That's one thing. The second thing is, yeah, you mentioned the seasonality of the products. So this is. There are a lot of things that can work out and can be worked like positively and negatively, because the restaurants can make their own seasonal dishes based on the seasonality of the products. It has opportunity, but also has different points of view that needs to be looked into it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
yeah. Sorry.
Sure.
If you wanted to
go ahead. No, go.
I think this one, in my personal opinion, is the most attractive and looks like the most niche down. In my opinion, that's good, because it's kind of narrowed down to a B2B kind of as a model, and then actually we can be targeting the small businesses that actually have the need to get some biofood or whatever type of produce being delivered to them, and that actually is making the whole I guess also marketing and sales a bit more precise. But as much as it is a niche, and that's kind of the negative aspect of that, I think that considering also the lower margins, I think that we're going to need hell lots of big markets so that actually this works financially in the long term. Because like even in Berlin, I mean, I do not even imagine that in Macedonia that would work, but maybe things happen, like might surprise us. But even in Berlin, like we have to find at least, I mean, not to throw numbers, but at least like, I don't know, 10 very good positioned restaurants that actually have a high demand for this produce. So that at the end, this actually makes perfect sense on from the business model point of view. But I mean, it might work, and it might work very nice, but it might work with just like a limited number of entities, because it's a very down kind of idea. And this is maybe something that, like, again, we might need to think about. But from all the kind of concepts I've heard, like the 5 of them, right? It's like the most down to earth, and something that is actually very touchy for the users from both sides, like the farmers, something that is like, in this case, the business.
Yeah. I mean, if you do it in Berlin, there are so many canteens, for example. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a restaurant that has like a limited amount that he needs. If you look at the canteens, caterers, they need a lot of food. So this could this could be like a bigger market than if you include them as well.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
I also think that as we are here looking at already like at bulk, so it's not like, you know, 10 potatoes, it's like, it's definitely bulk. So like smaller bulk to bigger bulk, depending on the restaurant or the catering service. But I think that maybe this feature or this opportunity field could even be combined with retail, because if we look at retail as a customer, who would be the retails that would be interested in that solution, there's probably more like the individual kind of shops, the you know, zero packaging shops, like the organic stores that still work very closely with farmers. So I think actually we could even on a longer term combine these. So I think if we choose to go for that opportunity field, we could combine the target groups from gastronomy, catering services, and small
Maybe
retail.
nice. Okay.
One aspect.
So, yeah.
Sorry. One
Is it
aspect.
really okay? Is it really not set already? If not, I would continue.
Yes,
maybe.
I think it's not said.
Okay.
Because we've been talking a lot about Berlin, and we need to mention that there's actually not enough vegetables growing in Berlin. So maybe just to remind for the choice of the space. Yeah.
Where to test it.
Exactly.
That's true. Yep.
Okay, so let's go to the next opportunity field: fostering regional supply chains. What are your?
I think there's one before. There's a
retail as secure
yeah.
sales market for farmers. Let's go to that one. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts?
Okay, the same company that I mentioned before, they are actually delivering directly to the supermarkets, and supermarkets are very needy in terms of quality of the product, in terms of I'm talking for the Macedonia case. I don't know what is the case in Germany, but basically there should be a midpoint between the farmers and the supermarket to ensure the quality of the product. And sometimes the supermarkets have their own purchasers who are purchasing but the whole logistic and the whole activities, and there is like some things like I'm not sure what waste of the products that are at the end of the shelf life that are returned to the producer. So there are some things that are hard to be done from one of the sides. So in this term, in the bigger supermarket, you will need somebody who will, because the supermarket wants to have like a box with a very good package, fruits, vegetables. So the quality is number one there. And by my opinion, I think that here there is opportunity will be covered with sorting and packaging company that can do this. It is not something that we can do it as
provide.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good point.
But I do remember that somebody in the interviews was saying that anyways the farmer needs to package his product at his farm stage. I guess it depends on which like level of size we're speaking about for the farmer.
Yeah,
but
that's the wish from the supermarket. That every the farmers don't want to pack it. They want to sell it bulk. I know for sure.
But I mean, when they do, as Elisabeth said it, when they do it for the digital marketing or for the direct marketing to customers, they also have to pack it in a way.
Yeah.
So they do that.
Then they have their margins there. So they are doing it because of the margin. In the supermarkets, they are providing lowest margin, and not every farmer packs the products on the same way. So supermarket wants to get the tomatoes in boxes, like so. I think yes, there is that is very good opportunity, and if there's potential, I will come to Berlin and work with that. But I will develop a company that is like a hub, collecting, sort, and pack the product. So,
I mean, it could also be the solution could also be that you develop a packaging system and you give this to the, or like a, I don't know, like a guideline could also be that you really just like empower the farmer to make it in the right way. I mean, there could also be other solutions.
Yeah, that's
I think,
good. The way of packaging, because there is like a foldable packets, plastic one that can be returned. So we were seeing this example in Macedonia of how to. There is a small cooperative, buyers cooperative that purchase organic products, and they are purchasing the products from the farmers, and they wanted to develop this delivery system. So the farmer gets this foldable box, and they are putting the products on the so this is a workable solution that we can think about, but it requires I don't know, thinking and maybe testing, not testing, but probing with the farmers, so what they are thinking about that. So
and also also with the retailers, because as I said before, there are very different also target groups within the retailers. So if we talk about the conventional supermarkets that just offer a range of organic products, they will definitely have requirements for standardized packaging. But if we look into at the small organic stores or the zero packaging stores, usually they don't. So like the zero packaging stores, they want you to always come with a box that you actually take back with you. So they don't want packaging at all. They have their system. So I think it's very different target groups within the retail that we would also need to look into if we want to focus on this.
Okay, maybe we should look more into this zero packaging, because the cooperative that I mentioned is already a zero packaging.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, we still have the testing phase. So if we decide for opportunity field, there's still time to really go into those different target groups in this in retail. So we still have the time. So let's look at the next opportunity field: fostering regional supply chains. What are your thoughts to this opportunity field? Is Petrak still there? Yes. Okay, he's sitting there. Okay.
I'm listening very carefully. Don't worry.
Okay.
No minus.
Okay, so fostering regional supply chains. What's your thought to this one? Thoughts, pros and cons, or
I would like to ask, sorry, for one more brief explanation. What does this in particular mean? I think I understand it, but is it more about catching up on some local initiatives that are actually about to deliver some, I don't know, healthy or bio products for the region only, or I mean, how would it scale? Like, how would the one person from Bavaria see the initiatives in Berlin, and would they correlate in some way?
I mean, as Eli said, it's a bit connected to the idea of eco-model regions. So you really look at the region and then try to like foster the whole supply chain in one region. So that means that you connect the farmers with the processors, and then maybe also create a sales market there. So it really means that you build up a supply chain in a specific region, and this is a model that could that you could do in different regions and really support regionalization. I don't know if that's an English word, but yeah. So in this sense, does it explain it more?
Yeah. In essence, it's just for Alexander to shorten the value chain, to have the supplies for the producers from the region, if I understand correctly.
Yes.
And this is quite a good opportunity from two sides, because you will always have some regional body that can support this kind of activity, and second, you have maybe regional branding. So and you can do it, scaling up can be region after region.
Yeah.
And, so for me, the only thing is that I'm not sure on exactly points how this can be done on developing the region value chain. It seems very nice, but
you don't have ideas yet how to do it.
Not ideas, but you need to know the region. You need to know the producers and processors. So it is good to digitalize this thing. And if we have a partner like a regional body that can provide those data, and then we can make it like a matchmaking platform.
So I think it's really what you also said, like to know the stakeholders in the region, and then they know the farmers or the processors. So I think you need this key stakeholder in the region to do that. But yeah, it's true. It's really specific, and so you always need a connection in the region. It's not that you just like give the tool there and then it's done. So you need networking as well.
Olga, Ronald was working for that kind of regional body.
Well, there are several. There are several, but the one that Ronald at the moment is working for is called FÖL. And I mean, yeah, there definitely would be a potential.
Yeah, but that's an example of regional.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then, or do you have further thoughts to this? Otherwise, I would go to the last opportunity field. Okay. Finding the right tool for each farmer. That's our last opportunity field.
Briefly, I think that this would be the most difficult use case to actually solve. Concerning that, I think that was the quote of the farmer here, that actually you cannot address every farmer with one process, or like it has to be different in according to the needs and the requirements of the farmers. So given the size of the team also and potential at the beginning, I don't think that this is solvable easily. I mean, this is just my feeling, of course. I haven't seen anything more in detail, but that's how it looks to me.
So the difficulty would be in really like getting the overview of what's really there, or?
I think we might get an overview and then just see like, okay, now we work with these three kind of type of requirements or whatever, feature sets. But I think that also given possibility to the people to actually make choices and to actually modify the systems, they will always use that, So I think that it would be always, I think this, I spoke directly with Igor the other day, then that actually we should not give lots of potential for modification of whatever we built at the beginning and then make it very, like we should be doing it that in the face of the validation of the idea, so that we actually see whatever is required by the potential customer and then make it, but not make it open for modification right after we close the, I don't know, the set of features or the MVP or whatever we have, because then that would never be well maintained and then it will always scale and we cannot measure the scale of the scaling, like we cannot measure the factor of the scaling.
I think maybe it's also two different ideas. One idea is that you provide the tools. So you think of, as you said, you think of the different ways how to, or like the different modules of the tool a farmer can choose from, or it would be a tool that just gives an overview of what's already there. Like that you are not the one that's providing the tool. It's more like this tool is for matchmaking of tools, already existing tools and farmers. That would also be a way to go with that.
Optimal, yeah. Yeah.
I think the other one, as you said, is really complex to really like figure out what are all like the different things a farmer could need, may need. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I cannot picture it in my head how that would work, you know, because I imagine that actually we directly communicate with farmers and they express their requirements in some way, or they're like, because they would be talking in very low level cases, you know, they will not be talking about direct marketing or pitching the whatever, you know, they would say like, I need this. And then if 100 of them express like 20 different opinions, then how it's going to be very difficult to select which one of them to actually choose and to go with. I mean, of course, this is goes along with the first case that you explained. So that's why I'm a proponent of actually creating something and just trying to solve that.
I want to just to make a parallel with one idea that was like 10 years ago when social media started. There was a company friend of mine that developed a lot of business owners. They didn't know how to deal with social media or how to publish, for example, Facebook ads. So they develop application that will provide to the business owners through the application to make a picture with the mobile phone and to just enter the text and send the Facebook ads directly to the Facebook. So to be more user friendly for the business owner. So when I'm reading this Right Tool for Each Farmer, I'm seeing the user experience of the farmer to be simple to use, just to take a picture with the mobile phone and to enter into the application. It is more like a feature than whole application. The second thing is to make an application that will communicate with the different platforms that are already there through different APIs. And I think it's technically, I think, viable, but it is very risky to do it. In terms of, I'm not seeing the business model, because you're connecting, you're helping the farmers to do the work, to, I don't know, publish their products to different network, or so it's too noisy for me to. I don't know the business model, and I don't know the. Yeah, it is good to help the farmers to solve the problems, but when we start opening the charter by charter, we will see that there will be a problem with the connection with the different partners. So it's for me, it's maybe the best model for now.
I mean, we have many other opportunity fields. That's okay. Maybe one opportunity field we haven't introduced like so much in detail because it's just an idea. I will just shortly mention it as well before we vote for two opportunity fields, which is connecting craftsmen and farmers to secure as well the regional products for regional craftsmen. So meaning that like bakers or butchers or whomever is crafting there, that we connect them with farmers, which could also be a really interesting new opportunity field, as we haven't really seen something like that in our market research. But it's not worked out. It's more like an idea that we also wanted to give in as well.
Doesn't that belong to the second one with the gastronomy and everything? But maybe you mean not exactly
different.
Yeah.
They're still
Good.
a little bit different. I mean, it could work because again,
Yeah.
they would buy in bulk. So if we look like who is buying in bulk, then they would definitely be part of it. But
What
still,
means
they
in bulk? Sorry, I don't
big
know the word.
quantities.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Quantities. So you don't buy 1 kilo of potatoes, you buy 100 kilos of potatoes, or
Mhm.
you know.
Right.
Yeah. So if we look at the bulk sale, then they would definitely make sense to be part of that solution. So I think, yeah, that makes it actually attractive as well.
Because for me, what you just explained about this crafting, how do you say
Craftsman?
craftsman? Yeah, I think that makes maybe even more sense than rather than going down to the gastronomy. But yeah, I mean, this is very from this point of view.
Yeah, but I think it's true that from the point like how to deliver it and that it's like kind of a middleman or like some middle thing to the end customer, it could make sense to combine it, I think, as well. Maybe we could add that, Eli, to the gastronomy thing, that it could be combined with the craftsmen. Okay, so that was it with the opportunity fields. It took a bit longer than I thought, but it's still okay. We still have time and are in time. But yeah, the next step is really to decide for 2 opportunity fields we want to work with today.
How do we
Maybe, huh?
Are we going to vote with dots or somehow?
Maybe I think everyone could think of 2 you would, or you could put your initial behind the opportunity field.
I think it's actually easy if we say it, because if everybody starts writing in the file, it will become
doesn't
a bit
work.
more.
But otherwise, then maybe they are influenced by the others. But that's
True.
Okay. But maybe all of you think of 2, and then you don't change it anymore when we go through the group. So I give you like a minute or so, and then we can, Eli, could you go out of the document? Then it's easier to read.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, Igor and Pedrak. Now, Pedrak, we also need your opinion. Okay, then I would say let's start. Maybe Alex, do you want to start?
Yeah, so pointing out 2, I think the gastronomy and catering opportunities, like as I said, like the most attractive, because it's something that I can already see it. I mean, at least the way it's explained. And then the other one is the regional supply chains. It was not clear, that's why I asked the question, but I think that it might be also attractive given the times that we are going, especially this year. And it has, I think, a lot of potential in that regard.
Yeah, cool, thanks.
What was the second?
Regional supply chains.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Pedrak, do you want to go? No?
Predrag. Maybe Igor can just express his opinion.
Okay, does he need more time or?
This is how democracy in Macedonia works.
What does that mean? No one is saying anything or what?
Yeah,
No?
but Igor will say it.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
We
Is
can't really understand. It was too far away. Was it already a vote?
In essence, he was talking about Horeca, the gastronomy and catering, and second one is catering. Okay.
What?
Yeah, retail. Horeca.
Retail.
Horeca
Okay.
in retail.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Then maybe I just go next. I would say as well gastronomy, catering, and craftsmen's. I think that's really interesting to combine that. And actually, I don't know if it's okay, but I just would leave the vote there and just maybe skip the other one, or I think that's the best opportunity for me. So I'm not putting in another vote.
I didn't know about these conditions.
Yeah. Sorry, but I thought I would give it to another one, but then I thought, nah, I think this is, yeah, sorry, unfair conditions, as the moderator can just change it whenever.
Change the rules.
This is how democracy works in Germany.
Yeah, the leader can just, no. Okay, Igor.
Okay, I tend to grapple opportunity, and I will pack the second, third, and the fourth in under one. But basically, I think I will vote like Stephanie. Started with Horeca, and the method of doing this maybe with through choosing some regional and working through the region. And I think the others can be just like a scale up on the others. I will put my vote in this. What's your gastronomy and catering, and regional supply chain with that regional supply chain in terms of starting through Horeca. I don't know if.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I also put you in the second. Maybe.
Yeah, and there with a dot that this could come from gastronomy and catering. That was like the add-on.
Yeah.
Okay. Olga.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I can just actually join in this game, because I do see, now that we discussed it so much as well, that actually fostering the regional supply chain would be like an element of, fostering farm-to-table gastronomy and catering. And at the same time, if we work with bulk sales, then on a later stage, we can definitely look at retail, at craftsmen and so on. So I think we will just need to go like, target group by target group. And obviously they will need different marketing strategies, but it's selling bulk in B2B. So I think, yeah, I would also say, so let's start with catering and gastronomy, and yeah, we'll leave my voice there.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't understand it then correctly from Igor. So you said gastronomy and catering, and through that regional supply chains, or did you also say something about retail? I don't think so, right?
No.
Because then
I just explained that I want to put everything under one cover, but for now I will start with Horeca.
So just Eli, just the add-on to regional supply chains, that this will come through Horeca, right? That this is the second step, and you can foster it regionally.
I agree with all of you, Horeca, and then
that's good. Okay, and Predrag already, okay, so we all gave our vote, and I think it's pretty clear what we're going for. We go for gastronomy, catering, and regional supply chains, right? Eli, did you vote?
No, I didn't, sorry. But it's fine. I think it wouldn't change much.
For what do you go?
I would go for gastronomy and retail. Yeah.
Okay, so put your name there. Sorry.
No worries.
And but yeah, it doesn't.
Only one also?
No, I would also go with retail.
Okay, so then we have the same at retail and regional supply chains.
Right.
So we have to decide there for which one to go.
Can you tell the order, because I cannot understand from the.
So the first is that we are all with it, farm to table in gastronomy and catering, and maybe combining it with craftsmanship. And then we have the same vote on retail and regional supply chains. So there are always two people.
Oh, Ellie, maybe you can decide.
Ellie, can you elaborate about retail and?
Yeah, maybe.
Sure. I just see the retail that if, for example, we find an easy application for which to connect local farmers with the retail and kind of make it easier to organize this difficulty, of getting a product, the same product from many different regional farmers that produce the same, then I think this is a solution that's very relevant for many places in Germany, because there's many retailers that want to jump on the trend of using of using regional produce. And I do kind of see it realistically that many, like the big part of customers in the future, will buy from the retail. So I think it would be great to work on a solution to connect on a more fair level, the regional farmers with the retail.
I'm talking. I like also the gastronomy and the retail, but I think that the retail should be maybe the next step. So it could be a very similar solution. Can be just the next step. For us, is just to decide which is easier market to start with. Is it the restaurants or the retail?
To be honest, it looks like the retailer. I mean, just like some gut feeling, because it's so much broader, and then you can target so many. Like the potential to target at the beginning is much bigger.
That's the scaling. It's the beginning. Because if you a friend that is working with this company in Macedonia, he just targeted the first supermarket. He make a deal, and after that, every supermarket follow it.
Okay.
Yeah, but could it not also be that like this regional aspect, that it is like add-on, like a kind of philosophy, so that you kind of like I don't know, also with the solution point out like who's in the region and with whom you can connect in the region, and that it's not really far away apart from gastronomy. But I'm doing now, I think, what I hate as a facilitator, that I want to put all ideas in one. So maybe forget it.
I wonder who's more willing to pay a good price to the farmer. I think it's challenging both in gastronomy and in retail.
Yeah.
So it is a B2B solution. That's clear.
I think so too. So maybe we can, in the next round, actually brainstorm on the different target groups within the B2B and maybe try to come closer.
What do you mean? But we have the target groups. I think this is opening it up too
much. No, I don't mean to open it up. I mean like brainstorm on B2B sales for catering and gastronomy and B2B sales for retail. So that's what I mean, like separate.
Okay, but that's then
groups.
Yeah. But then it would be the decision now for retail and gastronomy, and not for regional.
Yeah, regional can be a way to start. So I see regional aspect starting from this eco model region that you tell. So for me, when
it is a totally different idea. If you really would foster regional supply chains, it's a really, I would say it's a different approach. You would really take it in your narrative and really say, okay, this is what you want to do. You really want to like strengthen the region by connecting people or stakeholders from the supply chain. So I think it's a different narrative you would use. I think in the others, it could happen to be regional, but then it's not the story you are telling.
Okay,
so I think it's, in this sense, I would say it's a bit different, and maybe it comes up that this is a story we can also tell, but I think for now it's good if we decide for one or another.
Okay, then I can change my vote to retail. So just
Okay.
yeah, because not just focusing on regional supply. It means regional supply chain means a lot of more things.
Yeah. The networking, as you said, for
Yeah.
example, that you really need to know.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. I would say let's take that as a good point to have a short break, and then afterwards go into the how might we questions, and then actually in the brainstorming. Great.
Okay.
Thank you. Then see you at 11:05. So it's really just a short bio break, sorry.
Okay, see you.